This is the MLM Complete Package podcast. Here's Chris Lopez and Jason Wells.
Now, before we dive into the first topic in today's MLM radio show, before I actually say the topic name, I want to give you a heads up that it might sound a little rude or crass when you first hear it, but it's actually the best way we can describe what happens to so many people in MLM that we've seen over the years. And the reason we're talking about it is Jason recently kind of had this similar experience with an MLM distributor he was working with. And what the topic is why do so many people who join MLM, why do their IQs drop by what seems like 20 or 30 points from when they go from their professional life to doing MLM, Jason?
Yeah, that's the way I describe it. It's what it seems like. And, just to put it in perspective, disclaimer, I did the same thing. I made some boneheaded decisions and like, why am I doing that? Like, I wouldn't do that in other things that I've done. And so what brought this up, actually, I had a conversation with somebody on our downline last night, and this lady's like super smart. She's like very bright, very accomplished. So it's not just her. I would say 90% of people that we work with go through this. But it's even more glaring with people like her because she's an OR nurse, which anyone that knows anything about medical care, like a certain breed of doctor becomes a surgeon. Well, the same with nurses. There's a certain breed of nurse that become operating room nurses, and she runs a lot of the operating rooms and often at times runs multiple operating rooms and has to deal with surgeons sometimes and saying when they come in there and whine to her or complain or bitch or moan, she has to be a strong enough person to say, you know what, just get out of here. Like, I don't have time to deal with this. And her decisions in her job are life or death. Like, there are people that decisions have to be made. They have to be split-second decisions. Or if there's a problem, it has to be, well, I don't know what to do here. It has to be a solution, has to be done, and it has to be, a decision has to be made, and we have to find a workaround. And I'm just repeating what she recited to me because I asked her, like, what do you do in your job, and tell me about the kind of things you do. And so she described that. And so my question to her was, well, then why in our business are you like not, quote, making it happen? Because that's what she's doing in her job. She's making it happen. Why are you able to do this in your job as well as everything else in your life, but you're not doing it with the business? And she kind of laughed and she goes, that's an excellent point. And I said, so, and so she said to me, well, somehow I think like there's some sort of shift in focus from being a nurse into entrepreneurship. And I said, well, I don't really know what that means. And long story short, I basically said to her, like, look, being an entrepreneur is different than being a nurse, but successful people's skill sets are all the same. Like what successful people do, it doesn't matter whether they're doing MLM, whether they're highly successful in their job, whether they're highly successful in staying in shape and going to the gym. You hear Chris often make that analogy. The point is it's the same. So stop trying to make it something different. And I think the reason why people's IQ drops 30 points, or is that a little thing, is it's like they get frozen in MLM because they think it's different. And particularly people that have been highly successful in other things, it's like they throw out everything. It's like, oh, well, this is totally different. So anything I've done in the past, I'm not going to do here. And so my suggestion to her is, like, I'll give you an example. One situation, she had somebody ask her about weight loss because our particular company's in nutrition. And she said, well, it wasn't appropriate to talk about it there because it was at work and there was a bunch of people around. It just wasn't the place for it. Hey, I commend her that, and I encourage that in my downline members. I don't want them to have unnatural, stupid conversations. Anyone that has listened to us knows that we're about common sense. And so she's exercising common sense. And so I completely appreciate that. My criticism for her was, hey, then, okay, you're not going to discuss it there. Then what is your workaround? How are you going to make that conversation happen under the circumstances? And so my suggestion was a way to make it happen is think in your head, okay, this isn't appropriate right now to discuss, but how do I discuss this? And how do I make this conversation happen? And so I said, why don't you just say to her, hey, this isn't really the place to discuss that. Are you going to be around the night? I'll give you a call and we both get back from work or get home from work, or you're going to be around tomorrow, whatever. Whatever it takes to make that conversation happen and have that conversation and get that customer, do it. And she laughed and she said, because that's what I would do in my job, or people die. I can't willy-nilly around and play games because it doesn't work. I think I'm just putting barriers for myself. And she goes, I'm absolutely convinced this is what I need to stop doing in order to take things to the next level for myself in my business. And I said, good. I'm glad you got that. And I wanted to discuss this because as I told her, hey, look, which she knows that, but I always try to make it clear to people when I'm having hard conversations like this, I'm not picking on you. This is something that 90% of people do. You're just going through it. What makes it more glaring for you is you're such a intelligent, successful person in what you do in your regular life. It makes it even worse when you're not making it happen in our MLM business. And she understood that. And I said, maybe this is something I should talk about in one of our radio shows because I think people need to hear this. I think a lot of people go through this. And the reason why you and I, Chris, say people's IQ drops 30 points, because that's exactly what it is. It's like everything that they've learned and known and everything they've applied over the years has made somebody successful. It's like they throw it out the window when they're doing our MLM business. So I rambled a bit there, but hopefully I got the point across. I'm sure you've got some comments on what I'm talking about here, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really, common and recurring theme. For people as they're starting their MLM career, and what I want to focus on, because you did a great job of explaining the point, giving an example, Jason, is for our listeners out there, they're going to be in either one of these situations or both of these situations where at some point in their career, their MLM career, their IQ, quote unquote, drops a few sizes or drops a few points, or they're going to be training a future team member or a current team member who's going through that same problem, where you've got a very smart person who's joined your team. There's someone who's a go-getter in life, whatever field they're doing in, they're good at it, they've had success at it, and they're very competent people. But then they get to MLM, and exactly what you were talking about, Jason, that happens. So remember this phrase, and this is part of the reason why we pick such a colorful phrase or such a vivid phrase, because we want this to stick in your mind to kind of help you, help set up any red flags as to when you're doing it or when possibly your downline, whether it's a current downline member or future downline member, is going through this. So you can say, you know what? Why is my IQ dropping? Why is my downline's IQ dropping? And that would add a little humor to it, but also give me a reminder of, okay, I need to take a step back here. I'm trying to figure out how to talk to this person about the business, or I'm trying to figure out how to, why do I keep avoiding my follow-up calls, or why do I keep, not doing this, or why am I afraid to talk to this person about, about my product or about my service? I'm afraid to go strike up a conversation and hand this person a business card. And, whatever those reasons that pop up that slows down the growth of your business, have this pop up in your mind. Hey, if you're in a different situation, whether it's your career or something to do with your, your family, and, you get things done, you make things happen, try to draw parallels to what's allowed you to have success in those other areas of life, and how can you bring those over to MLM. Now, I kind of give you a few specific examples that I think, is one of they can be some of the causes for causing this. It's not always in there. It's people having like a lack of confidence in themselves or something they're doing, which oftentimes translates into uncertainty about something in their product or company, or uncertainty about their own skill set. Now, Jason and I often talk about like developing money-making skills. We talked a lot about that in our book, in the Anti-Suit Entrepreneur. It's those skills that allow you to go out there and make money. And an MLM, that's talking to people, that's advertising, that's doing presentations, that's closing people, that's doing customer service. That's the stuff that grows your business and has your bottom line. So if you're running into this problem where your IQ is dropping, your downline's IQ is dropping, I would say, do an analysis and say, okay, why is this happening? What do I do in other areas of my life that helps me, not do this? Am I missing something here in my current offering, or do I need to beef up on a money-making skill? Now, I'm not saying this to, I don't want. Part of my fear in saying this is it's going to allow people to kind of give them an excuse or an out as to why they can't go do something that day or that week to build their business. Before I talk to this person, I need to spend more time researching, our patent on this product, or I need to spend more time in understanding the compensation plan to the infinite degree as to what happens when you're a triple-star diamond director and you get the 7th generation leadership bonus. I need to understand this better before I go talk to someone. That's my fear in saying this. People are going to use it as a scapegoat from building their business. So please don't do that. But just keep that in the back of your mind and see if you can pinpoint, one thing, whether it's a skill set or some stupid emotion. I call them a skeleton in the closet, something that's just, hanging over your head that's preventing you from going out there and doing it. Use that as a trigger, your IQ dropping, your downline's IQ dropping as a trigger to help you figure out, okay, what's going on? How can I get over this? And how can I move forward?
Well, and this will be controversial, but if you don't have belief in your product, then you need to find another company. Or you need to figure, because I asked her, I said, obviously I have belief in our company, Chris, but I asked her, you have belief in what you're doing here, right? Oh, absolutely. Okay, well, then we know that's not the problem. So, it's something with you and something you need to sort out, and which she knows. But I say that because if you're not confident with something, either in your training or the product or just the company, and it's not something that's correctable by learning, then you need to look elsewhere. And I know people aren't going to like that because it's like, hey, we're telling people don't do what you're doing, but it just is what it is. I would say the same thing to somebody in my team. If they don't believe in what we're doing, they don't believe in our company, I would tell them the same thing, which I think that's worth mentioning, because it popped in my mind when you were talking about, Chris, like, learn whatever it is you need to learn. And the other comment I wanted to make was, you don't need to know what a 5-star diamond does because you're not even past the 1st or 2nd level. Like, worry about that when you maybe get the diamond. It's like, don't waste your time on things that are not even in your future. Put your time on the things that are coming up next.
And I got one other bullet point I jotted down while we were chatting about this, Jason. And just it made me think of it. And this, because people's IQs can drop, and it kind of comes down to prejudging people, either before you talk to them about the business or as you recruit them in the business. And I say prejudging, oh, this person, has an executive background, he or she's going to be a superstar. Or this person has, really no success and no career success, that's, this person's not going to do anything. I know when I was sponsored, I was prejudged because I was in college, because my sponsor lady told me this years and years and years after, but he sponsored me and kind of threw me as a bone to someone else in his downline that really didn't benefit my original sponsor any. And then, you know what, a couple years later, I hit the first major, level rank advance with our company, right around $50,000 or $60,000 worth of sales a month, and, grown since then. And, because, he was later joking, he's like, God, I wish I didn't do that, but you know what, woulda, coulda, shoulda. On the same token as that, I've also sponsored the people who've had some just amazing backgrounds and amazing job titles and have been, great at their job and going in there and sometimes turning around multi-million-dollar stores or companies from, being like the region dragger or the worst performing sector of a company or that company, and they go and they turn around. Now it's one of the better producing stores or better producing divisions, and they come and they do nothing in the business. So don't mix in what we're talking about here with this IQ can drop as people go through this learning curve or go through whatever issues with prejudging people. Because if you prejudge people or you make a snap decision too quickly, you may be missing out there on a really good person. You may be missing out there on someone like me in the future in your downline because, I prejudge this person. Or, you know what, this person just isn't getting it. And if you spend a little more time either training the person or you became a better trainer yourself and diagnosing the person, you get that person over that hump and get their IQ level, up back to normal, and then go out there and start kicking some butt in their business. So Jason, I've got another topic here I want to move on to. You got anything else you want to say on the IQ drop before we move on?
No, other than that, I'm glad I had this conversation with her because, she could be really good at this business, and it's just a matter of her deciding to do that, and I'm feeling pretty good that she will. I think our conversation changed things. And so I hope by us telling you this story, if you're somebody that's in her shoes, if you were in my shoes years ago, I did the same kind of stuff. Hopefully this maybe turns a light bulb on for you and helps you understand, maybe something really simple that you need to fix.
So as you listen to this next topic, I want you to listen to the whole topic, you the listener, the whole topic, because initially you're probably going to think, well, this doesn't apply to me, or this doesn't apply to my business. And it absolutely does in the long term in ways you probably never realize. So, listen to this whole rest of the segment, and it'll definitely give you some good pointers for your current team members and your future business, and help you avoid some mistakes that you never even realize you're making, or that is, I call it like invisibly shooting yourself in the foot. You don't realize you're hurting yourself. You don't realize you're causing doubt or disbelief in your downline towards your own leadership, but this can be. So listen through this next segment. For those of you who aren't real familiar with what we have here at MLM Complete Package, one of the main things we do offer is a pretty comprehensive and unique marketing service where Jace and I are both Google AdWords certified. We've been advertising online for, over a decade now. And so we've been through a lot of the growth of MLM, a lot of the growth of the internet becoming more popular. And so we do offer service in helping people to, create their personal brand, design a website, design a marketing funnel, and do it in a way that's compliant with Google AdWords, which then means it's compliant with all the other major advertising platforms out there. Google's still that holy grail of advertising traffic that very, very few people can achieve. Jace and I, we spent a year and a lot of money figuring out all the fine-tuned, all the fine-tuned details on the fine print as to, what causes this to get triggered, what needs to happen here, and all that stuff. So we offer that service to people out there who want to build their own websites and generate leads for themselves and their team members. And, creating websites and marketing funnels like that, it's not the simple, copy and paste this affiliate style or this replicated website, put in your ID, upload your photo, and do a few things and go advertise it. I wish it was that simple, but it's not. And so it's, very in-depth. It sometimes takes anywhere from a few weeks to a few months to help the person get it. And it takes a lot of time and effort on our part because we have to spend a lot of time and it's very mentally draining. So a lot of times these we range anywhere from a couple thousand to $5,000-$6,000 in helping people get everything up and running. Designing and brainstorming and doing all that stuff. So it's a very intensive project to do, but it can have great benefits on people's business. And I usually handle most of the contacts that come through MLM Complete Package. And on a pretty regular basis, at least monthly, I get people coming through, they either set up a consult or they fill out a form stating, oh, I got this website, I want to advertise, I want to generate leads, blah, 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 blah. So I say, well, here's the plan. I email them back and forth or talk to them. And then someone always says, well, hey, and I'm saying every person does this, but quite a few people do, saying, hey, well, that's a little bit of my price range, but how about I sponsor you into my downline, and that way you can reap the benefit from all the people we'll sponsor and the growth, and that can be part of your payment, plus you'll make a lot more in the long term in the residuals. So Jason, what's your initial reaction when people say that to you? What goes through your mind?
Well, number one, this sounds harsh, but if they were somebody that could sponsor people and actually make that worth our while, even if we would do that, they wouldn't be talking to us, number one. So why am I going to spend hours and hours and hours in the hopes that they do something? The second thing that comes to mind is, no, I'm not going to join some other MLM just so I can make money, for MLM Complete Package. Definitely can it make us money? Yeah, but it's a lot of it's a labor of love. I'm not gonna compromise what I'm doing with my own company so I can go do that. And I don't know. The other thing is, like, people, when they do stuff like that, it just makes me, well, I understand why people struggle in MLM so much. It's because that just shows me that they don't even have any direction in their own business. They don't know, either it's not a good training program, or like they really don't have good upline leadership, because anyone that knows anything about building a solid organization, like you're not gonna I wouldn't, like, why would you introduce me into your organization? Like, that's bad news. Okay? Like, not to say that I would take advantage of that, but trust me, the people in your organization, even if you ever sponsored people below us, like, trust me, if I'm around your organization in some way or another, they're going to talk to me and be like, why am I with this guy? That's just not smart. You need to make your own, you need to create your own way. And I don't know, it's just, I have so many thoughts on this. I could talk on this for 3 hours. I'm sure there's probably something more specific that you want to get into, but I don't know if you can tell just by my tone and that I'm all over the place, that it definitely should show you that it's just not a good idea to do things like this. It's really bad.
Well, one of the things that pops in my mind a lot is it just shows it shows poor leadership on the person, a poor mindset. I hate to use the word like the poverty mindset, but it's that's what it is, because a person's worried about a couple $1,000s, or I can't make that happen, or they kind of got this more selfish mindset. Well, I want you to do all this for me, and I'll give you this in the long run. And yeah, you're right, Jason. I've been in situations where I was growing in this business on the newer side, and I wanted to fund something or do something like that. If I needed a couple $1,000s to invest in something, I'd be like, oh crap, I don't have that. Let me go sponsor 5 people this month and make $2,000 commission to go buy this and go make it happen. Back to your point. And the other thing about that is it shows the person isn't that mature in their MLM building, because I've even said this to a few people just to turn the tables, and I get irritated by it. And I normally don't spend a half an hour talking about or trying to educate the person. I'm just like, dude, you need to get up, you need to get your head checked out later. But that's the same thing. Oh, when a downline, a potential downline says, "Oh, I don't have the money. Why don't you buy me in the business?" And their reaction is, "Hell no, I'm not doing that." You know what? That's the same reaction here. So anyone out there has that mindset where you expect to get something without putting it, money towards it or putting some type of a mutual agreement towards it. Hey, get your minds in the right way. You're not going to attract high quality people this way. And so to bring this back to you as an up and coming leader in MLM, it's, I want you to avoid situations like this where you try to do these, deals where you have people join your downline or you join someone else's downline to work out some deal, or as you start building your team, you'll have people start, prospecting you to, hey, let's do a conference call or send out this program to your email list and I'll give you a 50% affiliate commission off the course or off the value. And I'm sure you guys have seen there's a bunch of people out there in internet marketing and the MLM world where all they do is they build their email list, and all they do is, every other week it's some new must-have product with thousands of dollar bonuses to buy, and they're just constantly, shoving down people's throats whatever affiliate product or program they can get their hands on to make money. Which, hey, I guess that works for some people. I don't buy that stuff as no draw to me, because I just think it's unethical. It's like selling something you're not really using yourself. But this is what you guys need to keep in mind as you're becoming a leader and building your own organization, is that you will have opportunities. You will have people solicit you to do a joint venture. You will have people solicit you to do some affiliate things. And I'm not saying no, never do it, as far as like, so if you're going to recommend a certain training program or recommend a certain system, but only recommend it if it's something that truly adds value and you yourself have vetted. Don't go, so I'm going to use some very colorful language here. Don't go out there and be a whore when it comes to selling all these products, giving all these different things away, because that's what you're down. That's what a lot of people will start seeing as, well, this guy's just doing whatever to make a buck, doing whatever to make $500, selling this, doing that, just letting them do whatever. And that undermines your leadership. Now, if you do that, you're not going to see an immediate kickback from your organization or your email list, your downline, that next day. And what I found, a lot of times this is an internal conversation that people have with themselves. And some people don't even realize it, but it just starts putting a chink in your armor. It starts putting a chink in a person's belief in your leadership, in your integrity. Because then they'll start thinking, well, okay, are they selling this course or recommending this book or whatever, or this system because it's going to help me build my business, or it's because they're making a 60% affiliate commission? And so long term, that can undermine your business. And hey, Jason and I have made money in our network marketing business for over a decade. We've made money, through various internet businesses and different things over a decade as well. And having a strong MLM base, with a good base of distributors, a good base of customers, that base of residual income, recurring income, that beats out any money you make off of affiliate income or internet marketing, because you got such a loyal base there. So, Jason, you got any other thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, just don't do it. You and I both know people in our company that have done this kind of stuff, and it's never ended well for them. Like, they made a lot of money up front, but their organization fell apart. I think it's for a lot of the reasons you talked about, chink in the armor. Eventually, they question their integrity. What is he really selling here? And, sometimes the company isn't enough to hold an organization together. People have to, when things get rough on them, because MLM is rough, it doesn't matter how good the company is, you need somebody to lean on while you make your own way in the company. And if you're not doing that, people are they're gonna fall off. Everyone knows it in MLM, it's a high attrition rate. But it makes it really bad when you're doing this kind of thing. And anyone I've known that have done it, it just never ends well. And give me an example. in our own company, we have our own system. MLM Complete Package is built on that same system. And a lot of people that are cross-line to us use our system. And they always ask us for affiliate kickbacks. Do you do that? We say no, but we do give you something. We give you what we call marketing credits. And basically what that does is we feel like, yeah, we need to compensate somebody for their referral, but we're not going to give them straight cash. They got to spend that money on something to build the business. And so, we actually try to stay somewhat committed to that. And a little different in MLM Complete Package. We do give some money in certain situations, but, we really can't control other companies. But at least internally in our company, like we know what our company is and we know the people that are using our system for our company. We know that, like, hey, they need to be putting that money into building their downline and their team there. As far as what other people do in other companies, say with MLM Complete Package, which is the subject matter in this radio show, we really don't have any control on that. But we do our best to encourage people to reinvest that money back in their business because, you're not gonna get rich referring MLM Complete Package accounts to people. It's definitely a nice little influx of extra money to fund your marketing and your business. But it's not in my self-interest to tell you that you can't make a living selling MLM Complete Package. Like as far as our marketing, training, and contact management system. So if I'm saying that to you, it's got to be. You got to believe me that you shouldn't do this kind of stuff. You should only do it when you have something good like we have, and it should be only used as a supplement because, as I said, with the people in our company, it's never ended well. And so little more than what I was planning on saying, Chris, but as I started thinking about it, I think it's stuff that people needed to hear.
No, it's great information. So that wraps up this MLM radio show. Just keep in mind, as you walk away from this and get back to your busy life between balancing family, work, and building your MLM business, do keep these points in mind. Hey, is your IQ dropping when you build MLM? Is your downline's IQ dropping when you build MLM? And so I want that word track, that very vivid word track to stick in your mind, to help you kind of make you pause while you're out there building or training your team members and saying, okay, what can I do to get my IQ, or what can I do to get my downline's IQ back up to where it should be? And keep in mind, just as a general leadership, I know we got people in all different levels and experiences throughout the MLM career, from newbie to established leaders with your own organizations who follow our podcast and follow MLM Complete Package. And this is just a good leadership reminder that people are watching a lot on your actions and what you're doing. Now, for the most part, very, very few people are ever going to comment on anything or comment directly to you on it, and that's just the way our culture is, but they are watching it. So don't undermine yourself. Don't undermine your long-term integrity, your long-term business profitability, your character, and your leadership with your downline, your followers, your email list, your clients, whoever, by dishing out whatever joint venture or whatever affiliate program you make a few bucks on that day, because people are watching it. So don't undermine your own business and yourself in the long term by trying to make a few bucks today. So that's it for this radio show. If you've got any questions or comments, post them below this video or come to the website and let us know. We love hearing from you.